Most buses are built for either urban transit on city streets or the wide open highway. But what if you needed a bus that could plow through rivers of mud, mountains of snow, and in minus 50-degree temperature? Well, a bus like that certainly did exist. This is the story of the PAZ 3201, the Soviet bus that would take everything you could throw at it. Hi, this is Jeffrey. Now, as we all know, most buses are not designed and built to withstand the extremes of temperature and terrain. However, there are parts of the world where such a bus would be needed. Now, in the late 1960s in the Soviet Union, they actually developed an all-terrain 4x4 bus for exactly this purpose, and it turned out to be transportation for those who would otherwise have none. It's a really interesting story, so let's get started in learning about the PAZ 3201 all-terrain bus. Yes, there is a such thing as an off-road 4x4 bus. The development of this type of vehicle for the harsh Russian climate and terrain with two driving axles began in the fall of 1966 by Pavlovsky Autobusny Zavod, also known as PAZ. The chassis design was based on the then new Gaz 66 truck, and the body was a single-door version of the basic and already existing PAZ 672 bus. The working version of the prototype initially did not have its own model number and was tested under the code designation PAZ 672 VP 4x4. The first sample of the bus was manufactured in the summer of 1967. During 1967 to 1968, several more prototypes of the future all-terrain vehicle were manufactured, and these were strikingly different in the design of the front part of the body from the basic PAZ 672. Thus, the first ever off-road bus appeared, which would remain the only one of its kind for several decades. Starting in 1969, the modified vehicle, which received the designation PAZ 3201, began testing, which took place in the most difficult off-road conditions in the Vologda region. The tests were carried out in several stages in the conditions of spring and autumn muddy roads. The single-door design was not, however, chosen by chance. The bus was intended for rural areas where an extra door was of no particular importance. The technical conditions of the new bus did not provide for standing room for passengers. The increased center of gravity contributed to a decrease in lateral stability and, as a result, an increased risk of rollover when overloaded. But, in fact, transportation of up to 40 passengers, which was in excess of its seating capacity, was carried out almost everywhere on the production buses. The bus differed mainly from its predecessor, the PAZ 672, by an increased ground clearance, a cut rear end, and a special rear axle with a limited slip differential. After the first tests, the vehicle was equipped with an additional gas tank, and all production buses would have 2 tanks. The final development of the blueprint for production was completed in 1970. Testing continued in 1970 and 1971, and in November of 1972, the first 20 PAZ 3201 vehicles rolled off the assembly line. By December of 1972, 50 all-terrain buses were produced. Now, let's take a look at some of the basic specifications of the PAZ 3201 all-terrain bus. Number 1, length is 7.15 meters. Number 2, width is 2.39 meters. Number 3, height is 2.96 meters. Number 4, ground clearance is 55 centimeters. Number 5, number of seated passengers is 26. Number 6, Empty weight is 4,860 kilograms with a total permissible weight of 7,155 kilograms. Number 7, tank capacity is 105 liters times 2. And finally, number 8, the engine is the ZMZ 672 of 115 horsepower, which is identical to the engine of the Gaz 53 truck. In 1975, the Paz 3201S appeared, also known as the northern version, designed especially for cold climates. The Paz 3201S buses had roofs insulated with self-foaming material. This made it possible to significantly simplify the technology of roof assembly and improve the quality of body thermal insulation. Like most northern vehicles, these buses often had a bright orange or red paint job and no vents in the windows. The Paz 3201S was especially popular in the regions of western and eastern Siberia, in Yakutia, and other regions where 10 months are winter and the rest is summer, and where they can still be found on regular routes. In 1982, the Paz 3201 cross-country bus was modernized and they wanted to assign a new index, Paz 320101. However, the additional 2 digits in the index soon disappeared, and in almost all sources, the designation Paz 320101 was shortened to the familiar Paz 3201. There was also a mobile canteen version, of which 2 were built, and a training vehicle with tables and a film projector. The Paz 3201 bus was taken out of production in 1989 due to the withdrawal of the similar 672 family from the assembly line and the start of production of the Paz 3205 family of vehicles. In total, 13,874 3201s were manufactured from 1972 to 1989, of which 7,760 units were the Paz 3201, including the Paz 320101, and 6,114 Paz 3201S Northern buses. While quite basic, the rugged little off-road bus provided transportation to those who otherwise would probably not be able to travel anywhere in the unforgiving Siberian climate. And so there it is, the story of the Paz 3201 4x4 all-terrain bus of Siberia. Now, from a lot of the information that I've read, it sounds like this may have been the world's first 4x4 bus, certainly in the huge quantity that it was produced. But I'm not sure of that, if it was the first. So if you know of another 4x4 bus that was produced even before the Paz 3201, let us know, because that would be something interesting to look at. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at the Paz 3201 4x4 bus. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.